Ooh, this is nice. It's also pretty.
Good morning, everybody. It's Stephen here for Bland Designs and the Idiot Quilter, and welcome to my weekly vlog number 391 for January the 13th, 2025. We're moving to the middle of the month. Where have the last couple of weeks gone? Just everything just goes so fast these days, don't you find? Or maybe it's just because I'm old and everything goes fast when you're old. But anyways, enough about that. Let's talk about what I've been working on. Well, I am going to talk about this in more detail tomorrow on the Idiot Quilter, but this is a bag that I made called a sewing tote, and I made it in the hoop on my embroidery machine. And Walter and I are going to do a series on So Chatty about bag making, both in the hoop and more conventional style. And we're going to try to use some different materials too. Break out of the mold of just using quilting cotton and possibly use leather or leatherette, probably not real leather, and see how that all works. But that's to be seen, and that'll be coming up on So Chatty in the next few weeks. So this bag I'm really happy with the way it turned out, and I'm working on another bag right now as a gift for my hairdresser's mother, because I gave my hairdresser a bag at Christmas time, and her mother saw it and loved it and almost stole it from her. So I said, look, I'll make her a bag if she wants one. And yeah, but more about all of that tomorrow on the Idiot Quilter. So that's basically all I have been up to in the last couple of days since last week. I've got a bunch of projects going on. You can see some of them on my design wall at the back. Plus, I'm doing a lot of 3D printing, and you can see right now the 3D printers, 3 out of 4 of them are working away on things. The one that's not running, had some problems with it this morning with something I wanted to do. And I think it's the nozzle. I think it's time to replace the nozzle on this one, which doesn't take very long and is not difficult, and I have some spare ones. So after I've done this vlog this morning, I will fix that one up, and hopefully that's the problem. That's the only problem I'm having with it, and I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Okay, when you have 3D printers, there's always something to do with them. Yeah, tinker, tinker, tinker. Okay, so let's talk about the YouTube channel of the week. And speaking of 3D prints, this is called 4 Amazing Sites for Free and Paid 3D Print Files. You may be aware of this if you've been doing 3D printing for a while. But maybe you've just got into it, just got your first 3D printer at Christmas time. Santa was good to you. I think you will find this video very helpful. So I'm going to insert my review of it right here, right now. This week's video clip from YouTube comes from someone that I watch on a regular basis called BV3D Brian Vines, and it's all about 3D printing. And I know a lot of you may have gotten 3D printers for Christmas, but you don't know where to get the files that you want to print, or models as we call them. So what you can do is watch this video, and he will give you the lowdown on 4 really great sites, and they're all sites that I go to on a regular basis. Now, most of the things on these sites are free, but some are paid as well. And I have found when you pay for a model from one of these sites, it's usually better quality because it's being put up for sale. It's not just left as a freebie, so people don't really care about the quality of what they are producing. So if you want to know where to get files for your new 3D printer, I suggest you go to this video and watch this, because it's filled with lots of ideas about what these sites have to offer. And they offer more than just 3D models. They offer a whole lot of other things within the 3D printing community. So go to 4 Amazing Sites for Free and Paid 3D Print Files. Check it out. Okay, so you'll find a link for that in the show notes below. You'll also find a link for Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen. You know the routine. And there's also a link, though, for the Idiot Quilter Pop-Up Sew Day. That is coming up this Saturday, January the 18th. Virtual doors open at 8 a.m. Come and go as you please. However, you don't have to be there right at the beginning, and you don't have to stay right to the bitter end either. We'll run until about 4:30 or so. And it's a chance for you to get caught up on your sewing, maybe start some things for spring, whatever you want to do. If you just want to sit there and chat with us, that is perfectly all right too. And as I've said in the past, it's an excellent opportunity for reorganizing your underwear and sock drawer too. In other words, come do whatever you would like to do. If you're new to this, if you're a bit shy about joining in on a pop-up sew day, no need to be. We do not bite unless you want us to. And everybody's always very supportive and very friendly. It's also a drama-free zone. We do not get into politics, unlike today's rant, as you'll find out. And yesterday's Stephen and Walter Live. More about that in a moment. But yeah, it's just a very comfortable, friendly, fun environment. Those of you that might be having snow when you don't usually get snow, because that seems to be a thing these days, snow days are great days for sewing. Yeah, nice and cozy, warm in your sewing area or in your crafting area, and just working on that which brings you joy. So I hope you can join us. That's this Saturday, the 18th of January. And as I said, the virtual doors will open at 8. Now, there is a link for it in the show notes below. It is a Zoom. It is not a YouTube Live, and it is not recorded. And for those of you on my mailing list, I just sent out before I started recording this morning, the email invitation with all the information you need to your personal email box. Okay, there's also links for everything else that I have up here for you, so check all of those out. So that takes me to what things are looking like outside today. So here from my Ring camera and my front door, you can see we have snow. We don't have a lot of snow in comparison to other parts of the country and that, but it's there, it's substantial. And yeah, it looks like we had a little bit of snow last night as well, because it looks like the front step will have to be shoveled off again. Walter's getting lots of exercise with the shoveling and the snow blowing, but he kind of likes doing that. Plus, right now he's on a big lose weight kick, so this all contributes to it. As far as I'm concerned, God put it there, God will take it away. Yeah, but yeah, it's snowy, it's kind of pretty. Spring's going to be a while yet from that. But speaking of the weather, what do we have in the forecast for my area? Well, right now it's 0 degrees Celsius, that's freezing, 32 degrees Fahrenheit. It's going to have a low of -7, high of 1. So, it's not cold. That's just, average temperature for this time of year. It is supposedly snowing right now. Can't tell, it's kind of dark outside, and of course this picture I'm showing you from my Ring camera is not live. But it says it's flurries are expected to stop in 44 minutes. So when you hear flurries just means light snow blowing about. So no big deal. So we are going to get more snow again though. It says 100% at 8 a.m. this morning. So, okay. If this is supposed to stop in 43, now it just went to 43 minutes, then start up at 8 again, well, that's not 43 minutes away. I don't know. It's hard to tell what this thing means. And looking at the weather map, yeah, there's a system going through. Doesn't look too major. So I don't know if we're going to have any more snow throughout the day. It doesn't really say. Oh, yeah. No, that's not snow. That's wind. We're going to have wind this afternoon. Yeah, but just partially cloudy. Nothing, no big deal there. And the long distance forecast doesn't show snow again until 65% chance of it on Saturday. Well, that's a pop-up sew day. Perfect day for sewing. And Sunday, 40% chance. It's not snow though. It almost looks like, no, it must be snow. It's funny, they don't use a symbol on there for snow. They use another symbol. I don't know what that means, but it's going to be cold. That's for sure. And actually, today's our warmest day with the highs. Everything else is minus. Oh, no, sorry. Friday and Saturday both supposed to be high of 2 degrees Celsius. Then Sunday, -8, -9. And then next Tuesday, -12. Okay. winter in Canada. It happens. All right, so let's talk about what's pissing me off. Okay, if you tuned into Stephen and Walter yesterday, and I'm sure I got a lot of the Americans really riled up about this, or maybe not. I've had a lot of comments to my comments about the state of affairs in the United States right now. And most of those comments have been like, seem to agree with me with what I said. Now, I do realize that what I said on Stephen and Walter Live yesterday, well, it could be somewhat insulting to Americans. And that was my intent. I'm sorry. I'm going to be upfront about it. I'm pissed off with you people. I am, because you put an idiot into your government. Now, I know people have told me, we didn't vote for Trump. Yeah, I get that. There's idiots in politics everywhere, and we don't necessarily vote them in, but they get in because there's other idiots out there that vote for them. But this one is a major problem because, as I said yesterday, and I'm not going to re-go over everything I said yesterday because I said a lot. Okay, I said a lot. But to put it into a nutshell, Trump is an a-hole. He doesn't have the brains of a squished fly. He thinks he can threaten Canada and think that it's just going to be really easy. We're just going to walk right and go, oh, yay, we're going to become Americans. That's not going to happen. I think I used the expression yesterday, if you poke the bear, we're the bear. Don't poke us. We're not just going to sit back and go, sorry. Okay. No, 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 no. And you insult us. You right out insult us. You call our prime minister a governor of 51 states. That is not diplomatic in the least bit. When did our official heads of our provinces, of our country, insult American politicians? It's one thing to debate and disagree about policies. It's another thing just to go down to, elementary school bullying and calling names. And that's what Trump really is. He is a pubescent boy who thinks with anything but his brain, who the only clever thing he can say out of his mouth is insulting to other people of the world and other countries. That is not good government policy. That is not diplomatic language. And quite frankly, he thinks he can buy Greenland as well in all of this and the Panama Canal. Wow. Wow. We thought the crazy was over when Biden took over office. Well, apparently crazy is back. It's like those outfits from the 80s. Hang on to them long enough, they do come back, but doesn't mean you like them anymore, if you ever did. So, yeah. So what am I pissed off about? Well, there was one person wrote a comment about, basically, well, we have 4 years to put up with this. What can we do? That's a defeatist attitude. And that defeatist attitude is probably partially why this idiot got into office. My answer to that is this. Americans are known for being activists. For, when an injustice has been done in the world, they're there to right it. Now, I do think that's a little arrogant. And I do think that Americans put their nose into a lot of other countries' business where they have where they're not welcome, nor they should be there. However, as a nation of people, when something's happening on your own doorstep, I think you need to rise to the occasion. I mean, you've done this before in your history. One really good example is the results of 1776. You took a stand as a people. Yeah, sure, it was over 200 years ago. But you took a stand as a people, and you won. You weren't going to let a foreign power come in and tell you what you were going to do. Well, where is that spirit now? But you have it internal. You have a history of civil war. We know how that worked out and the cost of how that worked out. You almost lost your country to that civil war. But sounder minds rose to the surface, and, well, history tells you what happened out of that. So I think it's time for that in the States as well. I mean, if not you, who? We're certainly not coming to your rescue, Canadians. No, not our problem. We have a policy of keeping to ourselves. The only time we send in our military, yes, Trump is threatening us with military, okay, to take over. What? We've always been good neighbors. We've always supported each other in one way or another. You know, we have the world's largest undefended border for a reason, because we get along. We're different, but we get along. Well, not now. So, you know, when we have military too. Trump likes to think that we use your military for everything. No, but when we go in as a military unit, we're there as peacekeepers. That's what Canada's military is known for. You send in the Canadians in war-torn areas once there's been a ceasefire or something like that to maintain the peace through diplomatic channels. Something Trump has no idea about. So really, you have to do something. Now, let's hope that you have people in power, elected officials, that have cool, calm, and reasonable minds, who see the problem and can do something about it. I mean, your governmental system talks about checks and balances in there. This is a good time to put those checks and balances in place again. You know it's not going to get any better with him. He's a lunatic. But he is threatening my country. Come hell or high water, we will not become Americans. We are Canadian, and we are proud of being Canadians. So that isn't going to happen. Yes, I know. Most people can turn around and say, well, look, he's just a nut job. He doesn't know what he's saying. He just said, somebody mentioned in a comment, he just throws it out there and sees if it'll stick to the wall. Well, we all know that when the shit hits the wall, it does stick, but then falls off. But, you know, if you keep peppering the wall with that kind of crap, eventually it may stick. So, yeah. And can we afford to wait around for this? I don't think. As Americans, you can do that, but even the rest of the world for that matter. And this is where he's going to get into trouble. He's already in trouble with Denmark, trying to buy Greenland, and it's one of their territories. It's not up for sale, is what the Prime Minister of Denmark said. So, yeah, and there's other countries in the world that are sitting back, but they're watching. And that's kind of dangerous, you know, when you think about it, what Trump could stir up. So I think it is your duty as Americans to do something about this situation. You can't just sit back and say, well, I didn't vote for him. Well, good for you. You have some common sense. Think about what else you might be able to do. Do I have an answer for that? No, I do not. But you're Americans. Remember, you're Americans. You tote that when an injustice is done, you are there to fight injustice. You are there to fight for democracy and freedom. Well, guess what? Trump is threatening all of those things for you. No one else is going to come to your aid. You get in there and you fix what's broken. And right now, your country is majorly broken. I know some of you won't be happy with what I've said. If you choose to unsubscribe from me, that is perfectly all right. As I've said to people before, no one is under any obligation to watch or listen to me. But damn it all, if I will be silenced about this, because I will not be. Because at least in my country, we are a democracy. We still have freedoms, and we don't have a crazy, well, all politicians are crazy, but we don't have a nut job like you've got running our country. Actually, if the truth be known, we don't have anybody running the country right now. Parliament is prorogued, and we're looking for a new prime minister. But anyways, enough about that. There's irony everywhere when you look. Okay, moving on. Let's take a look at how things are growing in the house. Well, lettuce. We have lots of lettuce, but here's a problem we have found with the lettuce. We need to eat more of it. I mean, we buy bag salads from Costco. Really like those bag salads, those mixtures that they have from there. But we need to be eating our own lettuce as well. And these are getting brown on the edges. And I don't know if it's because they're getting too close to the lights in the grow light or what. So we're going to do a little pruning here. We're going to cut back the lettuce, we'll cut off the brown stuff, eat the green stuff. Should be fine. And yeah, and Walter's got a new crop just over to the right, starting to pop up. Grow light number 2. Well, we've harvested a lot of this, but although this doesn't look too appetizing, again, need to thin out some of the dead stuff here, it does regenerate. And more of it will come up. You can see some of it over here coming up there. Of course, the basil's taking over. It's just going nuts. Maybe make pesto again. We'll see. The green peppers. Oh, our jungle of green peppers. This is a thing of beauty to behold. And you can see flowers in here as well. And where there's flowers, there will be peppers eventually. And there are. If you hunt way back and you can't see it very well in this picture, there are teeny little itty bitty micro green peppers coming on. So this is doing really well. It's going to take another, probably 2 months before we get a sizable green pepper on them that we can start harvesting. But yeah, this brings me a great deal of joy. I have other things though, and in winter, and I think I've mentioned it before, you need green in your house, especially in the wintertime, okay? It just brings a little bit of freshness to everything. And these are my philodendrons. I call them my COVID philodendrons because I started them from the mother plant, which is not in the picture. She's over in another corner. I started them during COVID just for fun. And they're also the only plant that I never kill as well. And they're doing really well. I've got some, I keep rooting them and making more pots on the 3D printer. And yeah, this whole breakfast bar area on here is becoming a definite garden, but I love them. I think they look great. And I noticed that one back here next to the wall, that one, I think it's time to do a little trimming back and root some more in that. Up here, there's some rooting and they're ready for planting. I got to get on with that as well. Yeah, I could open up a store selling philodendrons. Now, here's something though, I've been doing this since COVID. So what, 4 years, sort of a thing. But here's our oldest plant in the house. This is what they call a corn plant. No, it does not grow corn, but they call it a corn plant. There's probably other names for it, I'm sure. How long have we had this plant? Well, we have had this plant. Walter bought this plant before I met Walter. So this plant's been around for over 41 years. Yes. Walter bought it for like $1 or something at a discount store back then in a little tiny pot for his townhouse when he lived there. And this has gone through many cutbacks over the years. It does grow tall, and when it gets up to the point where it's starting to lean too far over, and we've had it go up as tall as almost to the ceiling, we chop her back and it starts all over again. So yeah, 41, almost 42-year-old plant sitting here, and it doesn't take a lot of care. It needs light. It gets light from that window, and Walter waters it every now and then. You don't need to water it every day or even every week. And I would never get rid of this plant. I love it. I love it. Right now, it looks like a couple, one part of it, which was probably a root. When Walter cuts the stem off it, he has put it in a bucket of water and rooted it and then replanted it. And I think that's what that one piece, the smaller piece, came from a long time ago, actually. We haven't rooted anything in quite some time, in years and years, in this. But yeah, so that's what a 42-year-old plant looks like. And it's beautiful and it's green. Okay, so that takes me to new products from Amazon. Well, I bought a few things. So I'll just show you my Amazon order. Here it is. I bought some stabilizer from Amazon. Now, I will talk more about this stabilizer tomorrow on the Idiot Quilter, but I also bought some little folding scissors. Actually, I bought, they came in packages of 12. I bought 4 packages. These are for things that I'm making as giveaways when I do my guild talks and retreat things. These rings go with them as well. And of course, I bought some filament, and I am going through my supply of filament right now. And anything that's just got a little bit on a reel, I'm trying to use up on other projects. But here's what I bought. And I also bought this crimped cable wire kit. It's for your computer components. When I was trying to fix one of the older printers back a while ago, I accidentally pulled off and broke one of the little clips that has computer wires going into the circuit board. So I bought this kit with a variety of adapters and cables and everything like that. And I thought, yeah, this would be a good thing to have on hand for repairs. I bought some supplies for my old printers to keep in stock. And sorry, not for my old printers, for my newest printers. I bought a new hot end, as they call it, kit. And because sometimes you have to replace those. And I bought some silicone shoes or covers, which are necessary to go on the hot end. Because when you fix the hot end, put a new one on, these pull off, but they rip usually because they just wear and tear. So I bought some of those, some more filament, and I bought a soldering kit. Not that I intend to do a lot of soldering on circuit boards because, yeah, that would be a mess. But there are some 3D prints you make that take little brass inserts for like screwing things in. And you can use one of these. This has a special tip where you just basically melt a hole in the plastic and insert the little housing for the screw or whatever. So I thought that would be handy. So I bought one of those. Haven't used it yet. And of course I bought more filament. So yeah, I had a big order in Amazon and I have all that stuff now. So yeah, that is what I bought on Amazon. Now, speaking of 3D printing, and I'm just trying to get back to my screens here to show you what I have printed, which are kind of fun. So in the section now that I'm calling, can I print this 3D effing thing? Signs. I found this, I think it was on Printables, maybe, one of the sites that is listed in that YouTube video. I found this. It makes these 3-dimensional signs that can sit on your desk. Don't mind the little wispy pieces there. When I took this picture, I got rid of those later. They're not on there anymore. Yeah, so I've got this little sign that sits right in front of me. I'm looking at it right now on my top of my monitor stand. So I think it's just fun. And you can make it say anything. I made one for Walter that's got his favorite saying on it, which is, as we all know, go away. So yeah, and you can put little symbols in, like I use the YouTube symbol, but you can put in emojis and things like that. You can put in whatever you want to put in for words and stuff. It's kind of fun to do. So that was one thing. Then these are brackets, very heavy duty brackets. Now what these are for is for this. Yes, I did this week. I built this system for holding my reels of filament. Previously, they were in the cupboards that are above in this picture, and you can see here. And they sit in behind my 3D printer so I can see what I've got for filament. When they were in the cupboards, they were stacked up, they were in boxes. I couldn't really see it very clearly. Now I can, and that frees up storage space in my cupboards as well. So those brackets that I showed you here a minute ago, oops, they're very heavy duty. They will not break. They have an infill of what they call 60% infill. Most times you do an infill around 20%. So yeah, and then it's just copper tubing that fit right in there, 1/2-inch copper tubing, and it works like a charm. And those are in the joists in the wall, so they're not going to pull out. They're not just in drywall. So I'm really happy with the way that turned out. I think that's all about that. Oh no, and I made this little guy. He's fun, little crab. He's articulated. He's a print in place one. Again, part of my series of things that I'm making for potentially giving to the local elementary school. And a new dragon. And this one's a lethal weapon. He is heavy. He is pointy. He would hurt. You slap somebody across the face with his tail, it's going to leave a mark for sure. But, you know, I've got this new obsession with dragons for some reason. Sorry, gnomes. I still love you, though, my gnomes. And I think that's it. Yeah, so that's what I've been up to and printing in the last little bit. Okay, so what else? Okay, so I've been showing old video clips, as you know, from back when I first started my YouTube channel. And I'm going to show you some over the next few weeks that come from our very first Stephen and Walter lives. And the clip I have for you today is from, 5 years ago. I think it was 2017 that this one went up. And we're talking about Walter's retirement, because on the day that we made this video, Walter had just retired. So enjoy. It's funny.
I like Walter's hat.
Yeah, thrilled.
Today was Walter's final day at work. He is now officially retired with it all. So I went out to the store and I got a banner and I got a little hat for him. And hello, Craft and Bev from Boise. I see you made it. That's great. And I got these cute little glasses.
I'll let you do the
Do the what?
translation.
Translation, okay. And so anyways, we're celebrating Walter's retirement. Cheers.
Cheers.
And
It's
he's
only would have
lovely.
been 39 years before I could retire.
Your button's not turned on.
Okay, where's it turned?
It's on the back.
Okay.
And Jerry Lee says happy retirement.
Thank you.
And we're just waiting for a few more people to get connected here for tonight. And oh, I got to get out the poo-poo platter. We have a poo-poo platter. Everybody's probably wondering what the heck a poo-poo platter is. It's where I put shit together. We have to have hors d'oeuvres. Sorry, people, you can't eat this virtually. It's amazing what you can do with things you scrape out of the bottom of your fridge. Oh, and just in case anybody is wondering, hi, Karen. What did you retire from, Walter? Karen wants to know.
I worked in an information technology department, and I was a programmer or developer. It was name changed over the years type thing. So I developed and fixed software. So that's basically it.
Sounds like an exciting career, doesn't it? Boring. Let's see. Angelica says, and welcome, Angelica. Well, happy retirement from me as well. And Susie Hughes here. Hi, Sue. You made it tonight. Sue and I know each other because Sue lives in Oshawa. And didn't make it last week, but she's there now. Here now. That's great. Karen says congratulations.
Thank you.
Everybody's coming in. So how many people out there are actually retired or about to retire? Anybody? Just take a little survey here. And I may have to switch over to my thing. I forgot to set it so it won't shut itself down. So just give me a minute here, people. Just get that off. Never auto lock. Okay, let's go back. Okay, I'm back on. And Jerry leaves a note. And oh, Sue, you're retiring in October, are you?
Wow.
So how many years has that been that you've been working? And Marie, hi Marie. Good evening from the UK. And Ian says the world goes around with IT. Yes, and I think Ian, you're in IT as well, aren't you? So you would know that. Mm-hmm. Karen says, I'm not retired. I got a wild hair and became a nurse at 48 years old. So I won't be breathing anytime soon. Yeah, that's right. Well, if you like what you do, well, I liked what I did.
I liked what I did too, but after a while, it just
Yep.
my retirement, my pension became available. Actually, not till technically I'm on holidays until November 30th, but and then I'll be really officially retired. But I liked what I did. It's just that I was doing it for 39 years, and I thought it was time to go.
Yep. Sue says that she's retiring after 30 years as a legal assistant. So, Angelica says, Craft and Bev, are you from Boise? Oh, we're having a conversation there. Okay. Ian says, retirement, long, very long time away. Well, you want to know something, Ian? One day you wake up and it's just on the horizon. Next day you wake up, it's almost in your backyard. Another day you blink and you've been retired for 5 years. That's the way it feels like for me. And it has been 5 years. Karen says she loves what she does and retirement will come soon enough. And that's important. You know, you don't want to wish your life away. I know people who hated their job for 30 years and had countdown since they were like first in the job to when they were going to retire. And to me, that's not worth the work. Change your job then if you hate it so much, because that's counting down to the end of your life kind of a thing. Nice hat, Walter, Sue says. Yeah. I'm making him wear it. I'm making him wear it.
Yeah.
I'm
not wearing this by choice, okay?
Well, when you get, after a little while, you can take it off. Not yet.
I haven't had enough to drink to actually wear this.
Oh, and did you see his little button here? It says off the clock. It said clock. Okay, just in case that didn't come out, it's clock. All right. Jerry Lee says, I bet you'll do something else you love. You're not going to really retire. So, what are you going to do?
Well,
I'd like to know.
Well,
Well, what?
I've got,
Lay around, sleep, what?
we've got travel.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, and there's travel planning, which I do.
Yes.
And I do that anyway, and I've got a whole bunch of things I need to do around the house here that I keep putting off because I'm working. And I don't know if I'll ever be finished doing that.
Probably not.
And I still have some stained glass hobby that I've been ignoring for a little while, and I want to do some. I have a few plans. I'd like to do a few things with that. And I joined the gym again this year, and I've been going a couple of times a week, and I'd like to make it 3 or maybe 4 times a week. So
Ooh, get svelte. Ooh,
and I don't know. I had another couple of things on the list. I can't remember.
Oh, well, senior moment now. Like this morning, we were trying to remember what movie we saw this week.
Yeah, I know.
Neither one of us could remember. It was real memorable. Well, anyways, so keeping up this first part of tonight, I've structured things a little bit more than we did last week. So the first section has just been what's been happening this week, and you know Walter's retired. But what did happen? Like, what were the events? Because you had several things you went to.
Well, because of timing, a lot of people work from home nowadays, so we had to sort of pick a day when it would be when most people would be in at work type thing. So it turns out one of the other ladies that I've worked with for many years and started pretty much the same time I did, and she worked on the same team that I was on, is also retiring today. It's her last day today. And so because we were working for the same boss and everything, we combined our retirements, and we went out for lunch on Tuesday to an Italian restaurant, and then afterwards we came back to the office, and we had a general IT retirement function in the office. And that was pretty much it for retirement functions, and everybody got to come to it and say goodbye. And a few retirees showed up, and which was kind of nice. And it was kind of fun, and it was kind of interesting because it's really the first retirement I've been to where it's two people being retired at the same time. So and people that work closely with each other. So that was kind of interesting.
And you got some gifts.
Yeah, I've got a couple of nice bottles of wine. Somebody else gave me a big bottle of beer, and I got a gift certificate to the LCBO. You would think that
You're lush.
I'm a lush.
Yeah.
Kind
of true.
That's about it so
Yeah.
far.
Well, Lindsay says happy retirement. So that's great too. How many we've got on here? Oh, 7. Well, we're just moving right along here.
Yeah.
Okay, so what have I been up to this week? Well, I'm going to talk more about this in my vlog on Monday, so I'm not going to say too much right now, but I joined the Oshawa Art Association, not the Oshawa Alcoholics Anonymous. That's what Walter likes to call it. And I'm going to be teaching some classes for them, but I'm going to say more about that on Monday on my vlog, so I won't worry about that right now. Now, do you want to hear, I don't know, Walter may be a little embarrassed to bring this up, but I think from a teacher's point of view, this is an educational moment. We want to talk about our bug scare. Yeah. Okay.
So next week and the weeks coming up, I've got a selection of clips from Stephen and Walter Live. One is about bed bugs. Yeah. And then after that, we're going to have a little house and stained glass tour from the past as well. And the stained glass is Walter's creation. So that'll be coming up not next week, the week after as well. So I hope you're enjoying these clips. I'm enjoying pulling them up and watching them again because, yeah, blast from the past. Okay, so events in the past week? Well, nothing really. I mean, I've started some other projects. I'm screwing around with the 3D printing and things like that. I do have projects I need to get onto the long arm and do those at some point. So yeah, but nothing really eventful took place in the past week. And that's probably a good thing. So I think that's it for me today. And coming up, as you know, the pop-up show day this coming Saturday. Hope to see many of you there. It should be a good time. As always, a good time will be had by all. So I hope you have a great week. We'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.